Hello YouTube, it's me Brittany, and today is going to be just a little bit different than any of my other videos. So if you have already subscribed, thank you so much for being here. I love you so much. And you're probably going, Brittany, where is LGBT History I Should Know Part 3? And I say, it's tomorrow, I promise. But unfortunately, some more pressing things have come up, and I'll tell you just about that in a second. If this is your first time watching, please hit that subscribe button below so you can get more videos. I do lots of videos on LGBT topics as well as transgender related topics and that can help, and it's very interactive, so you can also comment and ask questions and things below. So hit subscribe so you can do that. Now let's get into what's going on. So for those of you that watch me, you look at the title and you're like, why is this titled Pride in the Park and nothing else, no other tags or anything like she normally does? And it's because I started a thing, apparently, and I basically just posted in a classifieds ad that I wanted to have a Pride in the Park, and it's become a thing. And so here is also my video introducing myself to Eagle County. So hello, Eagle County. I am Brittany Rose. I am the girl who said, hey, let's do a Pride in the Park event, and then you guys have just kind of like nominated me as your like queen of the queers or something, and I'm like, I will take that title, yes. But anyway, I'm just kidding. Like, queen of the queers actually sounds kind of like a horror movie to me, where like the queen like tortures lesbians and gay guys by making them mate with each other in the dungeon, and like the protagonist is like two bisexual people who are like, we can deal with this, and like they ended up defeating the queen. I don't know, that's just me brainstorming a complete movie idea. It may be a horror movie, may also be an adult film, I don't know. But anyways, so a little about me, Eagle County. If you do not know, I am a stand-up comic. I've lived in this valley now for 3 years. I work overnights as a dispatcher for Vail, but yeah, so I've been really disappointed by living here because, like, I come from a really small community in rural Missouri, and even we have a Pride, picnic in the park or something. We have some form of Pride event at least once every June. May not be multiple events, may just be one event, but just one event every June. And like, I'm like sitting around on Saturday going like coronavirus is not over, but like we're trying to return to some form of normalcy here. Like, people are already going to the park. Like, why don't we just have a day where we can all go to the park? And part of it is because the only time I've been to the park, I tried to go tanning and was there for about 10 minutes, and somebody called me a freak, and then I was like, all right, well, my self-consciousness is gonna make me go walking home, and that's exactly what I did. So part of me was like, hey, I just really wanted a few people, but now it looks like a bunch of you guys are coming, and I'm super, super stoked about that, because like, I think this can be a catalyst for so many things in the Pride community in this valley, because like, we have so much to offer, not just for this valley, but for the surrounding area. And if we like actually got together and worked to plan events with more than 7 days, that all could be something that we could easily accomplish for ourselves in the future. It could bring I hate to sound political, but it could bring money and, people into our area that, can support businesses, and businesses can support, Pride and things like that. In the future, we just have so many opportunities to do great things here in this valley, and we do nothing. So like, I'm really hoping that this Pride in the Park is just kind of like really what it is. It's like, hey, come out, have a good time in the park. You don't have to stay all day. Honestly, you don't have to come early. If you want to just show up for the parade, you just want to show up in the evening for the vigil, that is 100% okay with me. It's really just an opportunity for everybody to really come back out of the closet, because like, it seems like a lot of the LGBT community in this county seems to just be like, oh, we moved into a little closet and we're gonna stay back here, and I understand a lot of people just don't feel comfortable with that things, but like, we have a growing youth LGBT community that is showing in this area, and they have nothing to look up to. So like, that's what I'm hoping we can build for the future. So like, let's talk about Pride in the Park. I've kind of gone over the schedule. If you've looked on the event page, which I will post the link for in the descriptions for this video, basically, starting at noon, do whatever you want to do for the afternoon. If I can get a speaker system, we'll do we'll make announcements around 5 to come meet around the stage area at Nottingham Park, and then we'll set up for a parade. We'll parade around the fucking park. Excuse my language. I am a stand-up comic. It's very hard for me to filter. But I'm doing my best. But basically, we'll have the parade, and then there's a couple of hours, and there's a couple of things, like I have ideas of what we could do in that time period if we have a speaker system where we could have some speakers and stuff like that. As we get closer to sundown, when we can start lighting candles, and we can have the moment of silence towards the end of the night, in remembrance of why we actually have Pride. That's kind of like a tentative schedule. Like I said, now there's an abundance of you guys who have volunteered to help with the permit, and I love that. Thank you so much. We are easily going to be able to get the permit because of that, for the sound. Now, the speaker system that I had originally, somebody had told me was going to work. There were 3 different options, and all 3 of those have fallen through. So as of right now, we don't have a speaker system except for the one that was suggested by Karen on the post that I made in the event page about the speaker system that we were needing. So as of right now, we don't have a speaker system, but I do have the permit. I have all the rules and regulations, and I have it partially filled out. So I know kind of what we want to do with the speaker system once we have that. So if there's anyone out there that wants to, donate the speaker system, it doesn't even have to be for the entire day. Honestly, from around 4 o'clock to around, right around after sundown would be the only time the speakers would really be used, because like I said, this is really just meant to be a day in the park. Show up, have a good time. The time of noon is really because I have to run errands in the morning, and so I won't be able to be there till noon, but you can definitely be there sooner if you want. For those of you who are coming from Eagle or Gypsum or Vale, you're definitely invited. Please, feel free. This is a county thing. I would like everybody in the county to feel like they can come to the park and have a good time and enjoy themselves in the parade or in the vigil and all of those things. But just be mindful that there is very limited parking in Nottingham Park area. So there is some parking in over by like the post office and other things like that. But honestly, I would recommend parking either in the Bear Lot or the Elk Lot, which I live near, so I know that they're both open. I've seen cars parked in there every day so far. So I'm pretty sure you can park there. And then it's just a short walk to Nottingham Park. That way you don't have to worry about blocking traffic and disturbing locals, because if there is a bunch of people coming, then parking will just not be easy. Parking is not easy when it's not an event happening in the park. So that's just some of you may already know that. But the other thing is, we will be practicing social distancing and wearing of masks, specifically when you're in a group. So if you show up and you want to take your Bluetooth speaker, which is kind of what I do, I show up, I have a couple of towels, I lay down, I like to tan, I take either my headphones or Bluetooth speakers, and then I lay out for like an hour or something, right? But whatever. So if you want to do that, you want to venture off to your own corner of the park, you want to go play soccer in the soccer fields, do that, play your own music over there. That's totally fine throughout the afternoon and throughout the entire time, because, honestly, I really just don't see the need for the speaker system till after 4 o'clock, and it would be awesome if there was like a band out there that was like, hey, like, we'll show up and we'll play, like, we'll offer our services, because we have LGBT members, or we support the LGBT. I don't know. This is me begging for somebody to help me. But anyways, so like, just be aware that whenever we get to do the parade and the vigil, you will need to have your mask. I will recommend you have your mask with you at all times, even then, because if a police officer walks by and asks you to put your mask on, please obey the police and listen. We have notified them that there's gonna be an abundance more of people in that park that day, so they're gonna be there to make sure that we're safe, as well as that we are treating everybody fairly. And that's really what it's just about. It's just about a fun day in the park where everybody can come and have a peaceful, fun day and not worry about, being discriminated against. That's just, I think that should be common sense, but I guess I have to say it because there may be people coming that won't like us, and, we just don't need to cause trouble with them. That's why the police are going to be there. So, I've kind of talked everything about Pride in the Park now. Let me tell you about some of the plans of, you know, if this goes over really well, what I think we could do. Like, I would really like to, you know, in some of that time period between the parade and the vigil, have an opportunity where people can speak and maybe say, hey, these are some of my ideas, and then we can actually get together as a community and vote for like a committee of like 6 or 8 or 10, and a president, and make it easier for us to make these plans in the future. Make it easier for us to create like support group meetings for, transgender youth, or just LGBT youth, or just transgender people in general, or whatever support groups might be needed. Like, having a committee that kind of can address what is really needed for our county can help us get those things accomplished. I have seen an abundance of parents in the Valley reach out to me so far saying that they have an LGBT child. I worked with LGBT and trans children in Missouri before I ever moved here, and I've worked with Disney for years, as well as I was a school teacher. So like, I have a lot of experience working with youth. So like, that's one thing that kind of like hits home to me. And like, I think, oh my gosh, there's an abundance of things that we can do for just that part of our community, not just the community as a whole, but just that part of the community. But we have to form some kind of union where we, have support, and maybe create some kind of nonprofit organization where people can donate, so that, maybe a year from now we can get a group of LGBT youth together and say, hey, we're going to a Rockies game, and they don't have to worry about buying tickets. They just need to bring money for concessions. Like, there's so many opportunities for us in this valley, if we just kind of like come out. Like, and I feel like this whole Pride in the Park next week is our opportunity to just kind of spark what we can do and show not just our own community who we are, but our surrounding community. Like, there's a community in Glenwood, there's a community in Aspen, a community, in Summit, that all might be looking at what we're doing and saying, hey, they are building something, let's help them. So like, it only starts with, basically, apparently, me stepping up and saying, hey, let's do something. And now all of you guys have showed up, and I love so much of the support that I'm getting, and I hope I just don't let any of you guys down. With that being said, any support is still appreciated, as far as like, if you wanted to bring some flags to carry for the parade, if you wanted to make a banner for like a select group, like I mentioned in a post that the LGBT youth could have their own section in the parade. Well, maybe one or two of them makes a banner so that they can have their own section of the parade. Make it 6 feet wide. Just saying. Just like, there's so much things that we can do, and I think like this is just the beginning of what is going to be great things for us. So, once again, I humbly accept your role as Queen of the Queers of Eagle County at this point. But let's build and let's make something better than that. And honestly, that's just a joke. I'm not trying to offend anyone. I love every single one of you guys. I'm not going to go into my whole spiel about subscribing, but I will tell you guys, you can find me on Facebook at Brittany Rose. You can find me on Twitter at Brittany Rose 2. Don't forget to come to the park on Saturday. I hope to see you guys there. I love every single one of you guys. Bye-bye, everybody.